Welcome back to Bash Bros in episode 94 of Notorious Pro Wrestling, the TEW Let's Play series where we find out what exactly would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. It is a RevPro episode. The first in a while, actually, to be fair. So, because it's been a bit of time, we're going to take a wee look at the storylines, because we haven't really done that in a while for RevPro, and how they're going and what's the future direction and all that sort of jazz. So starting from the bottom to the top, Giselle Shaw versus Harley Hudson. This was just a chance to give Harley Hudson, who is probably one of the most promising fight school graduates, a chance to kind of show off what she has. It was also a chance, so Giselle Shaw, when we took over RevPro, was a face. It was therefore a chance to turn her heel. So she debuted her quintessential diva gimmick, turned heel, and pretty much demanded that Zan Phoenix, Zoe Lucas, and Harley Hudson all kind of bow down to her. Harley Hudson stood up against her. Giselle Shaw injured Harley Hudson to send a message to the rest of the division. So the two other faces, Zan and Zoe, are partnering up to take down Giselle. And then Harley Hudson will make a spectacular return to make the save. Harley Hudson has been okay so far, definitely not fantastic, but again, in the game she's only been wrestling for a couple of months, so be interested to see what her progression is like, especially as she's being trained at the Notorious Pro Wrestling Fight School. Kanji versus Sanitarium. Now, this has been going on for a while. If you remember correctly, Angel turned heel on Kanji to join Sanitarium. Most recently, she was able to fight through all the odds and gain a one-on-one match against Angel, however, couldn't overcome the numbers game, as Sanitarium had Jade and Nightshade and their manager Vicky all do their heelish shenanigans and get the win over Kanji. Going forward for this month where we wrap it up, Kanji is going to recruit Xia and RevPro Women's Champion Millie McKenzie as backup. And yeah, Kanji will finally get her win over Sanitarium and also put Vicky Haskins through a table so that we can write off Vicky Haskins, as she is going to be solely featured on Notorious Pro Wrestling to get her away from her ex-husband Mark. This is a new storyline starting this month, so if you remember correctly, we had a large influx, oh boy, of managers in RevPro from our fight school graduates. One place we are sorely lacking charisma is the cruiserweight division, so my plan is to actually turn Akira Francesco heel and partner him with Jay Money, one of our new managers. The reason I'm going with Akira is because he is doing good heel work in New Japan at the minute as a part of the Empire, so I kind of want to carry that across to RevPro. Killer Kelly versus Millie McKenzie. Although it isn't on hold, it's kind of being prolonged as Millie is currently being featured in the Kanji versus Sanitarium storyline. So to kind of fill that gap, Charlie Evans and Killer Kelly are just beating the shite out of each other. So once that's wrapped up, Killer Kelly and Millie McKenzie will go on to face each other. And I don't know if Killer Kelly's going to win it or not. If I want Notorious, I don't know if I want the Notorious to win all the gold. So I don't know. Speaking of the Notorious Cruiserweight Champion and Rob Lynch are going to be facing RevPro Tag Champs Aussie Open for the belts. Yeah, so I do have a plan over the next couple of months. I think I know the direction I'm going to go with the Notorious. They're only really going to be around maybe for another 3 to 4 months, and then they'll kind of split, with Nathan Cruz going solo, Michael Oku probably being called up to Notorious, and Rob Lynch will just kind of be out. Rob Lynch is definitely the lesser of the faction, so yeah, that's kind of the plan. Killer Kelly will be a feature as well on the women's division. And then finally, Grado versus Nathan Cruz. So this will feature the debut of assistant general manager Martin Kirby, who will then go on to be partners with Grado in the Great British Tag League. But yeah, this is just the whole point of Nathan is pissed at Grado since he's Conor McGregor's stooge and has been down here. So we'll have Grado versus Nathan Cruz for the title at some point. I think it's this set of tapings, possibly. But this is only going to be like a month, maybe 2. Not a very long feud, because the main headline feud going forward will be all the members of the Notorious versus Aussie Open. So moving on to news. Only real news down here is that we hired Lucia Lee. So she is a regen. She debuted as Marion Bennett, and I kind of rebranded her as Lucia Lee, as I do with all my regens. The reason I did is because her fucking charisma is nutty. Holy shit. 93 charisma, 93 microphone, and 90 acting. Her entertainment skills are ridiculous. So yeah, I brought her in. She was a wrestler. I asked her to be a manager as well. I think she's going to be an okay wrestler. She's kind of more of a technician, which is not bad. And again, 20, so her psychology and her technicals and all her other stuff will kind of continue to grow as I use her. But yeah, it's just that charisma. That's fucking ridiculous, man. So yeah, we are going to use her as a wrestler / manager. I don't know who she'll be partnered up with. We have a massive amount of managers, so I probably really didn't need to sign another manager. But maybe, I don't know if I'll partner up with another woman. I don't know if I'll stick her with a male wrestler. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. Okay, guys, so that is it for news. And for the storyline recap, let's book the 4 episodes of RevPro Live, and then we will come back and discuss them all. Okay, and we are back on the other side of our block of 4 tapings. So let's see how the shows went. Episode 29 of RevPro Live opened up with a squash match as Charlie Evans defeated Madison Miles. Charlie had a 52 and Madison had a 36. All in all a 47, which is okay. Later on in the night, Charlie Evans said that she has no one's point to prove, and that if Killer Kelly wants her, she can have her, and that in 2 weeks' time they will face off in a hardcore match. Next up, with an in-ring promo, Sanitarium are out in the ring, and Kanji says she's figured it out. She has now brought backup, and Xia Brookside, RevPro debuting, Xia Brookside joins Kanji on the stage along with RevPro Women's Champion Millie McKenzie. Sanitarium say that it's getting a little bit sad, Kanji's obsession with Angel, but if Millie McKenzie agrees to give Angel a title shot, then Kanji can have a 3-on-3 tag match. Kanji doesn't look too sure about this, but Millie's like, no, I got this, and Millie agrees on Kanji's behalf. In that match then, Millie goes on to defend her RevPro Women's Championship against Angel. Angel with a 39, which is not great, and Millie McKenzie with a 53, which is good. All in all, a 49, which is okay. Then in an in-ring segment, Grado announces that after weeks of searching, he has signed a new assistant general manager, and that is Martin Kirby. The Notorious come out and mock him and want to fight Grado because he's a stooge for Conor McGregor. Grado says, you guys don't get this. The reason I wanted an assistant manager is because I knew I was heavily outnumbered, and now the odds are just a little bit more leaning in Grado's favour. So in an impromptu tag match, Grado and Martin Kirby defeat Michael Oku and Nathan Cruz of the Notorious. Grado had a 52, Martin had a 43, Michael had a 57, and Nathan had a 52. All in all a 54, which is good. Martin letting the side down a little bit, but he's not quite as over as the rest of the guys in the match, so not too concerned about that. So all in all, that show was a 55. Moving on then to episode 30 of RevPro Live. In a backstage pre-show angle, Giselle approaches Debbie Keitel saying that they share kind of similar ideals and maybe, just maybe, they should form a partnership. Also in a backstage pre-show segment, Jay Money has gathered the entire Cruiserweight division and says he wants to represent the Cruiserweight division. But at this stage, everyone just kind of laughs him off, walks away, and yeah, no one's interested. Opening up the show in an in-ring segment then, Aussie Open are pissed at the Notorious. 2 episodes ago, after a TLC match, Whilst Aussie Open was celebrating at the top of the ladder, the Notorious attacked them and pretty much threw them off the top of the fucking ladder. So Aussie Open says Notorious should have made damn sure that they were dead and called them out, leading to a big brawl between both sides. Then in the match, Giselle Shaw defeated Zoe Lucas. So Giselle had a 43, Zoe had a 42, all in all a 44, which is okay. And post match then, both Zan and Zoe decide to stand up to Shaw until Debbie Keitel attacks him from behind, cementing that alliance with Giselle Shaw. Then in a big 6-man cruiserweight match, Talon Jr. gets the win against Daz Black, LJ Cleary, PJ Black, Senza Volto and Akira Francesco. Akira had a 67, Daz had a 46, LJ a 55, PJ a 61, Volto a 53 and Talon a 39. For as charismatic as Talon appears to be, his in-ring skills a little lacking. Hopefully polishing his skills in the fight school will pay off soon. Otherwise we may have to squash his push. And in our main event, Mark Davis defeats Rob Lynch of the Notorious. Mark with a 64, Rob with a 53, all in all a 61. Good match. Post-match then, the Notorious decide to beat down Aussie Open. Grado and Martin Kirby tried to make the save but also get attacked by the Notorious too as they stand tall in the ring. All in all a 60 for that show. Then on to episode 31 of RevPro Live. Opening up the show, Grado calls out Nathan Cruz and says because he laid his hands on him in a non-competitive fashion, he could easily strip Cruz of the RevPro title, but it would be a lot sweeter to Grado if he could beat him for it fair and square. Then in 6-woman tag action, Kanji, Millie McKenzie and Xia Brookside defeat Sanitarium, which is Jade, Nightshade and Angel. Angel had a 41, Jade had a 49, Kanji had a 42, Millie a 56, Nightshade a 45 and Xia a 50. Bit better from Xia, that normally she scores in the 40s, so good to see that maybe RevPro could be doing her a bit of good. And all in all, it was a 51 rated match. Post match then, Kanji catches Vicky by her hair and all the faces triple powerbomb Vicky through a table, and this will write off Vicky Haskins completely from RevPro. Next up in a hardcore match then, Killer Kelly defeated Charlie Evans. Charlie had a 54, Killer had a 53, all in all a 53, which is good. Post match then, Killer Kelly goes to continue a beatdown on Charlie Evans, but Millie McKenzie comes out and stops the beatdown. She faces off against Killer Kelly and raises the RevPro Women's Championship. Then in our main event, Nathan Cruz defeats Grado to retain the RevPro Championship after interference from the Notorious. Grado had a 45, Nathan had a 47, all in all a 47. These guys actually had poor chemistry together and didn't click, which is why it came out so low, unfortunately, and it led to not a great show rating, 51. Then in our final tapings in episode 32, in the opening match, Talon Jr. and Akira Francesco defeated the 9-9. During this match, Akira would have looked to have had things won when Talon gets the pinfall instead. So this is the build up towards Akira kind of turning heel. You feel slighted that this new guy Talon, is getting all these wins and getting all these pushes, whereas he's been kind of left in the dirt. So Akira got a 55, Dickie got a 43, Jack got a 46, and Talon again not great with a 38. In the next match then, Giselle Shaw and Debbie Keitel defeated Zan Phoenix and Zoe Lucas. So Debbie had a 54, Giselle Shaw had a 50, Zan had a 40 and Zoe had a 50. Debbie has been putting in some decent performances in RevPro. She might get a bit more of a push down here than she currently is on Notorious, so we'll see how that goes. Post match then, as the heels are about to attack Zan and Zoe, Harley Hudson returns and makes the save. And that's a 44 rated segment there. Later on in the night after their match, Jay Money approaches Talon once more to try and sign him, but Talon is not interested. Akira, however, stops Jay before he leaves and asks to have a word with him in private though. And that's the start of this idea that Akira is going to join Jay Money. Then in our main event, Aussie Open defeated the Notorious, which is Michael Oku and Rob Lynch, to retain the RevPro tag titles. Kyle had a 64, Mark a 65, Oku a 63, and Lynch a 57. All in all, a 65 rated match, which is awesome, especially for this level. And post-match, Aussie Open dare Nathan Cruz to partner up with Michael Oku, and the next tag match will be for all the belts. All in all, a 60 rated show. So yeah, that is kind of what my big plan is going forward. It will be Aussie Open versus Michael Oku versus Nathan Cruz in a big winner takes all the belts match. I've kind of done everything I can with Aussie Open. So spoiler alert, my plan is for whenever I do the winner takes all match, Aussie Open will win. And they're not going to split up, but they are going to pursue singles careers. So Mark Davis will get the heavyweight title because he is a heavyweight, and Kyle Fletcher will get the cruiserweight title because he is a cruiserweight. And we'll maybe do a wee bit of a shtick where like they're arguing about who gets which belt, and Mark's just like, do you really think I'm going to take the cruiserweight title? Again, they're not going to split up and anything like that. They will still be a tag team, but they will relinquish the tag belts. And then I'm going to put the tag belts up for grabs to the winner of the Great British Tag League, which will start this summer. So that is the plan. And then we'll have a nice kind of couple of months of Aussie Open kind of doing their own things as single competitors. So there isn't any news to come out of our RevPro tapings, but this was a bit of news I actually forgot to mention previously, which is Rhea Williams. Chris Bay, who we did discuss went to WWE, won the US Championship. How about that? That is the first non-WWE guy to win a championship that isn't the 24/7 championship. So that's really cool. Probably not cool to anyone else, but it's cool to me. Just while we're here, I guess we'll maybe take a quick look through the WWE titles, because I always think it's worth a giggle. So Seth Rollins' current WWE Championship, he won it from Braun Strowman. Kurt Hawkins is the current 24/7 Championship. He won it from Jules Dubrow, who is Bad Boy Joey Janela. He was signed by WWE. Keith Lee is the current Intercontinental Champion. Won it from Murphy. In the Notorious Universe, he had not left and gone to AEW. The Raw Tag Team Champions are Authors of Pain, who won it from DIY, so NXT all over again. But yes, so Authors of Pain were re-signed in the Notorious Universe. The Raw Women's Champion is Becky Lynch. No real surprise there. SmackDown Tag Champs are The New Day. Again, no real surprise there. They won it from the Authors of Pain. So Authors of Pain went from the SmackDown Tag Champs to the Raw Tag Champs. SmackDown Women's Champion is Alexa Bliss. She won it from Bianca Belair. Rhea Williams then, current United States Champion, Chris Bay. He won it from Robert Roode. And the Universal Champion is currently Kevin Owens, who won it from Sami Zayn. And I just saw there, I forgot that Angel Garza won that championship. Completely forgot about that. That was discussed in one of the episodes. And then the women's tag champs are Sasha Banks and Bayley. It's just, even the silly AI can't do anything with the belts. It is bounced between Nia Jackson's Baszler and the Iconics, and now the Golden Role Models, or whatever they're called. Oh, ridiculous. So that is it for another episode of Notorious Pro Wrestling. If you did enjoy it, leave a like on the episode and subscribe to the Bash Bros channel for more Notorious and other great shows. If you have any ideas in RevPro or for NPW, leave them in the comments and I will try and book it for you. And yeah, with all that being said, I will see you next time on Bash Bros.